Hey everybody, hopefully this is live now. Um, Hopefully you're not falling too far behind as far as the chat is concerned. So hi, welcome. I'm still alive, believe it or not. I apologize because I am on a chat stream with customer support at Crucial, which is a computer memory company, and I don't know why trying to return some computer memory requires basically the entire uh, entire technological brute force of basically what it took to get to NASA to get to the moon is what it requires apparently for them to issue an RMA for my RAM because this guy has been sitting there for like an hour and it's like, hey, can you mind waiting 2 or 3 minutes while we basically calculate pi to the hundredth and tenth digit? All right, it's so annoying. And now he's asking, I hope this is the exact motherboard. And yes, it is. Yes, that is the motherboard. So you're gonna see my fingers typing as I chat with this guy, probably Nilesh, probably offshore somewhere across the world, as he's using the entire uh, quantum computing system of the known universe in order to process my RMA, because that's what it takes these days to get any kind of response to this stuff. John, yes, hi, not a long time no see. I will delve into more as soon as once this let's see what this chat with uh with so-called customer support returns here, because it is just painfully slow. This is how they basically make sure that no one returns anything, is by making the return process as painful and as excruciating as possible. Because God forbid anybody just buy it, just buy, spend another $300, buy another set of RAM. Because why would you submit yourself to this incredible? So I am drinking Pepsi, which at a great deal at Costco, like 4 2-liter bottles for like $5, right? So I've got Pepsi in my glass here. So I did a little bit of Pepsi. This is what I've been doing. So those of you that know me personally know I've been starting to do some homebrew. And as I brought some homebrew bottles with me to Vegas here, and this is my Asian Persuasion. This is made from Asian pear. So Asian pear suasion, which has got a little bit of a funky taste to it, because I think the pears had some sort of wild yeast growing on them, and they kind of produce sort of a very almost this sort of a band-aid flavor. So I mix the Coke with the Asian Persuasion, and I drink that. Mix the coconut. Oops, what am I doing? This doesn't have it. And unfortunately, I broke I broke the cork, and so it's hiding in the bottle. Yeah. So this guy took 5 minutes to write me, "Thank you for confirming your motherboard." That was a very useful 5 minutes that he spent doing that. Very exciting. How you guys doing? It is incredibly painful. It is so long. All right, so why haven't I been on? Well, if you remember the last live stream I did, I talked about the work-life balance and how there wasn't one. Well, there wasn't one for literally 3 or 4 weeks, where I think it started when we started the. That's right, I did the Lake Elsinore stream, and that required me to take my streaming computer out of the studio, and we worked on that. But that was such a tormentous ordeal. It was 2 days outside. It was mosquitoes nipping at your legs, and just awful. Like just a high stress. Hurry up and wait, and then you've been waiting for 4 hours. Why aren't you ready yet? It's like, well, because you're not here to give me your stuff. Anyhow, it took me a week to recover from that, but I was thrown into two other projects immediately after. One which was a smaller project, but it was a flight simulator. So basically, what it was is the district supervisor wanted a video where he's a former pilot, and he wanted to take a small plane and fly around his district. And I was like, well, we could just use a Microsoft Flight Simulator for that. So got some beautiful shots in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and flew around the district and mapped out all, put the little characters on his location and all that, and flew around, and it was well received. And then immediately after that, I got thrown into another job, which was a state of the city for another city that I worked with, and that started off as a scope of that was 3 videos, and then it became 6. Thurman, hey Thurman, how you doing? You're back on here. It says if you want to get a second opinion on stuff, I've got the Asian persuasion is I'm it's one of those I'm not sure I would have my friends drink, but I do have some ciders that are really good. I have a cider going right now that I have high hopes for, and it's the concentrated. I took 2 gallons of apple juice from Costco and I boiled it down to 1 gallon, and then I put in a bunch of spices and blueberry, and that should be really really good. The blueberry, I'm finding out I really enjoy. Okay, we just got another text from customer support. Can you please confirm if you are getting any error messages? We're going to do this live, I guess. In the next hour and a half, we're going to sit and chat with Crucial, right? So can you confirm that you're getting error? I can't even get my computer to post. It just sits there blinking and nothing on the screen. All right. So we're going to painfully, it's like a root canal. We're going to sit here and just extract teeth to figure out how I'm going to get my new ramp. So anyhow, so I did. So I went from Lake Elsinore to doing Canyon Lakes. It started off as a 3-video thing, became 6 videos, 5 like long videos, and the 6th one, which is more like a flurry of their images they had on stock. Yeah, and that damn near killed me. That wrapped up on Thursday. We live streamed that too. So it was as having to use my box. My Thursday was crazy because I was out. We did a morning breakfast event shoot in the morning. Then I had to drop off all the equipment for the Canyon Lake folks, and then my buddy ran the show while I went and taught a class, like a little bit, and then I went back there to kind of help finish off the setting up, and then I went to go do a show that night. So, oh my god, have I been busy on the socials? Oh, maybe I put something on Twitter, formerly Twitter X. So I did a show with I don't think she's gonna. I won't give her name, but she's like a relative of John Williams, the composer. And so she has some friends, and we were having dinner with some friends, and they were kind of in the same composer circle of old films. And his grandfather was like a composer for the silent films, and he had this really cool program from Don Juan, the musical Don Juan, the first Vitaphone movie. Like people always think the Jazz Singer is the first sound film. But Don Juan was the first sound film using that technology, right? And it was, so I saw the original thing. It was really really cool. So in the 2 minutes I was talking about that, our friend here at the Crucial just said, "Thank you for confirming this." That's how we are. I fully expect an ice age to occur before we get this RMA finished. Oh, now look at he finally provided a shipping address. Oh, good, I can put my information here. All right, so I don't dox myself and get a Sniper Wolf on my butt. Let me just put this stuff in without telling you the chat. I know I'm trying to want to say it out loud, but I can't because I mean, look, Sniper Wolf is to me kind of pretty, so I don't know, but she's probably very very annoying. I probably don't want her like stalking me. Okay, and then my phone number, which is and then my email, which you probably can all figure out, is just john@filmmakeriq.com. All right, there we go. All right, so let's let that go through, and then hopefully the apocalypse doesn't happen between now and when I get my RMA. So we'll let that go. Right. Happy Halloween, guys! Yeah, these are not new glasses. These, well, maybe they are new to you guys because I don't know if I've been on stream with them yet. Cider in the UK is always alcoholic. I found out US has an apple juice as well. Yeah, so in the US we call apple juice is sort of the clearer stuff, and the cider is more cloudy. And there's a Simpsons episode where Ned Flanders, if it's cloudy and brown, you're in Cider Town. If it's clear and sweet, you got, what is it? If it's clear and sweet, you've got juice there, buddy, or something like that. If it's brown and tangy and brown, you're in Cider Town. I'm not quite sure that is correct, but in my opinion, though, well, not my opinion. I've just started making the hard apple cider. It's one of the easiest alcoholic drinks to make, and it's really like, so. I made this blueberry apple cider alcoholic. It was a 5 point. I want to say it was a 7% alcohol by volume, and it was. I had a bottle. I finished a bottle last night with it. It was so smooth. Like there's not a hint of the alcoholic flavor. There's not really much apple flavor. It's just super blueberry. Because the blueberries just like came around and smacked you in the face. So again, I did the whole thing where I mixed it with like Coke. So it's basically a blueberry Coke. So anyhow, so why am I here? I feel like I've been dancing around the subject here. So I'm here in Vegas because I figured I went through hell for the last 3 weeks. Like literally hell. I literally worked every single day, at least 7 hours a day, up to 20, 22 hours a day. Like a light day might be a 7 hour day. Like, oh, I'm going to take it easy today. I'm only going to work 7 hours on this Sunday after playing a show, obviously. So I'll play a show. Like the one Sunday, I played a show from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and then I went to the office, did a little work, went to get a steak dinner. So I treated myself to a steak dinner. Went back to the office and worked till 4 a.m. And then the next Monday, I was up, like about 10 o'clock, and then going to work again. So I was busting my butt up for the last 3 weeks. And I knew it wasn't unexpected. I knew it was coming. And so then I saw the agent just said, "Thank you for confirming this. Thank you very much." All right. So then I saw an auction. So I'm a sucker for auctions for equipment from liquidations of AV equipment. I'm a sucker for them because I love getting like high end gear that's like a decade old, high end gear that for pennies on the dollar. Let's be honest. That's what. So I ended up buying. I bid on these things. I bid it on a big projector, a 6500 lumen projector. You share the invoice copy here in the chat itself. Oh my God, they want me to share an invoice? The purchase? Hope you must have received my request. I'm trying to figure out what he's saying. So anyhow, as we are, I know you guys are exciting to see that we have a really exciting stream today, which is me in Vegas. You're watching me in my hotel room here. So, anyways, I purchased a pretty good sized projector, about this big or so. It's 6,500 lumens. It's one of those projectors where you go online, you look it up. It's discontinued, but at the time it was selling for like, I want to say like $5,000. At the time. Nowadays, it's probably obviously a lot less, but I got it for like a couple $100. So I like getting stuff like that. It's from a professional, AV equipment, maybe in Vegas. I'm not sure. But anyhow, so I got that. I ended up buying a couple projector lenses. They're really big. I saw them for 200, but I saw a lot of people like selling them for like, well, brand new they would sell for like $5,000. So I figured, well, if I can turn around, sell those, maybe I'll get lucky and be able to make my money back. If not, oh well. I've got a couple cool big. These projector lenses are huge. They're like this big. They're like larger than most even camera lenses. So, sure I put my email down right. Yeah. So I bought that. Then I just for the heck of it, I saw one of those moving light heads, and I just bid $25 on it, and I won it. So it's like about this big. It's pretty tall. but it's got a motorized head thing on it, so it was pretty insane. So I figured, well, I need to go pick up those items. I'm going to just use that as an excuse to come out to Vegas and just chill for like literally a couple days, just completely decompress from 3 weeks of just hell. And I'm kind of going into sort of the slower time right now. So the holidays should be drastically slower. So kind of a way to just ease off the gas here. So last night after I went to do that, uh, Thurman, if you're still on here, I was talking to you, but I had my car on and I should have turned my car off. So my battery was dying. Unfortunately, after I went to the bank there yesterday, and then so I had to go. I went to Walmart. Walmart was literally across the street, so I went to Walmart and I got a new battery charger, or new little battery jumper thingy. All right, they want me to find the purchase invoice for my thing here. Let's see if I can find it. So anyhow, I did that. Then I went to, and I figured, well, I'm here by myself. If my friends come with me, sometimes it's hard to like, get them to go places or try different things. And I always wanted to try Hell's Kitchen. Like I was a big fan of the show the first couple seasons. Kind of lost interest in the show afterward because it gets a little reality. It's a little reality kind of thing. I gotta find my order history. There it is. All right, view receipt. There we go. Let's download that receipt. All right, can I just download it? I'm gonna do resend receipt. What does resend it to? Let's send it to me or something like that. How do I get a copy of my receipt? Maybe for my email. I'm sorry, guys. This is kind of dull to watch. Watch me try to figure out why I'm not. Where's my receipt for the thing I got? But anyhow, yeah. So, what was I gonna say? What was I talking about? Other than, so I went to Hell's Kitchen. Yes, I went to Hell's Kitchen. I was a little afraid I had to get dressed up for it. But then I was reading like, well, they have a dress code. The official dress code is business casual. But by the time I got there, no one was wearing business casual. People were in all kinds of just whatever they came in. And I had the set menu. So the set menu comes with the scallops, with the beef Wellington. So they were talking about beef Wellington. I always wanted to see what the beef Wellington was, right? Let's see. I'm just gonna print this and call it a day. Beef Wellington, and then the toffee thing. And like I had kind of a big lunch, so I was pretty full. I made the decision to make this thing called Meet Your Maker. They had a drink called Meet Your Maker, which is Maker's Mark and a bunch of other stuff. And it was weird. I was watching him make it in front of me, and he gets on there. He starts like he's mixing it all. Then he takes like this. I want to say it's like mint, and starts like beating it on the edge of the glass. And I couldn't help but think that was kind of funny because he's sitting there with this leaf, and he's just like for like 2 minutes. He's just banging the leaf on the edge of the drink. Like, all right, I just type this micro center. Right, there we go. So he's beating that drink, and then I had let's say I had a few there. I hope you received my request. Let's see. I got upload or drag your file here. Okay, there we go. Okay, I gotta pull up my documents. So I had that, and I had let's just say I had a little something to drink, not just drink. I had a little something else. It's perfectly legal here in California and perfectly legal in Nevada, and I had one. But that Maker's Mark drink and that um, naturally occurring substances in gummy form uh, took me to a whole another level there. I was gone after dinner. I was like, ooh, I was so gone. Hold on, I don't know where I put my print here. So I was pretty gone. I put it on my desktop. That's all I do is just put it on my desktop. So yeah, I was pretty gone. And then I went to go see the show. Sorry guys, I'm trying to do two things at once, and I'm super. Let's see, Where is this thing? It's under my desktop. There you are. Micro Center. Alright. We gotta upload this guy. I apologize, people. This is the exciting thing about doing a live stream here. Trying to do, like I could spend all afternoon talking to this guy, or I could hang out with you guys. Drag your file here. That's what I did. I drag it right over there. Drop. Why is it not going? Drag your file. I don't know why it's not. Or is it? Or am I sending it? Let's see. Maybe I gotta like make the whole screen. All right. Cancel. Not letting me upload. All right. Take that. Make him work for it. All right. So sorry guys, I'm disheveled here. So yeah, the DIY bat signal, bullet silence, pretty much. So I am happy and toasty, and I'm going to go see the Sphere. So I got tickets to the Sphere, which I'll show you here. There's the Sphere. That's me walking from Hell's Kitchen, which is Caesar's Palace, up to the Sphere, which requires you to go through the link, and I had to go behind the thingy and all that. And I was on the road here, and I'm floating. I am floating. Please try again. All right, let's try this again. I am floating over there. It's a fun time. Let's see. Drop. Maybe I need to zoom out. Let's try zooming out. This is so exciting. Drop your file here. I swear their site sucks. Crucial site. Like nothing works. Like they sent me an email, like telling you, oh, if you have any trouble, call call this number, and I call it, and there's literally it just says like, you have reached the number that is out of service. All right. Sent it. Required me to precisely drop it in location. Anyhow, back to me. Why am I not doing this? Back to me. So there's the exterior. What do you think? I'd only show the exterior? Let's go to the next photo. All right. So the next photo you'll see is so there's the actual. Whoops. Stop pausing. Playing it through. Let's go through. So the Sphere itself is an 18K projection. Not projection. It is a LED wall that's basically a giant dome. If you've been into like the IMAX domes and stuff like that, it's basically that. I mean, think of it in terms of an IMAX dome. Some of it material is shot. It starts off with a. I'll give you a quick review. Go back to me. Back to me. All right. It starts off with a. Sorry. It starts off with kind of a regular film, 16:9, and they're showing off like these two astronauts have been sent to a distant planet, and then they're being woken up from deep stasis or deep sleep stasis, and so you must awake. Remember, you remember humanity, and then it shows Earth, and then the whole screen becomes this big giant dome, right? And it's huge. And when it first happened, people were like gasping, "Oh my god!" Because it's like, "Whoa! Look at all the." So we start off like really high in space, and we fly toward Earth, and then and then Earth is like small, farther away, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And this, the dome theater is just encapsulates your entire field of view. So it feels like you're moving into the. I mean, people. So the whole widescreen phenomenon that happened in the 50s, right, was a response to 3D, because they realized the bigger you made the screen, the more 3D lifelike it appears. Well, when you make a screen that's the size of a dome, around, it compilates the entire room, and it's massive. It feels like you're moving. It's such a cool experience. So we fly into the dome, and then we're gonna see like all the different, like postcards from Earth. Basically, it's kind of like a nature documentary. So yeah, there's a shot. I just stole one. I mean, people were taking photos all over the place because why not? Because it's just amazing looking, right? There's the size of, the actual room itself. The stadium seating, and in the front, the bottom right hand side is where U2 would play because they have a residency. But yeah, there's another shot of from the viewing, and you can take photos of it because it's not. This is actually this is an LED screen. It's not a projection. These are LED. This is light coming at you. So here is the entire credit list. I love the way they did the credits. So if you ever feel bad about your movie, like you feel like you're not making enough, your quality of your movie's not good enough. This is how many people it takes to make a 50-minute movie we showed in Vegas. So here's the ending. Here's how they ended it with a shot of whatever this mountain is, and it's just insanely cool. So here's another kind of a view of what it looked like. The projection quality was at least 18K is what they say is the size of the screen is 18K. Frame rate wise, it would have been 60. A lot of stuff was 60. Some stuff I wonder if it was 24. They might have snuck some 24 stuff in there. Not every shot was 18K. You could kind of tell when they weren't showing you true 18K footage. It maybe like 8K footage. You say 8K footage, and it looks a little grainy. It looks a little soft and all that. Yeah, so it was a little weird like that. All right, so you got Mr. Crucial got my invoice there. It took a long time. Anyhow, um, so just allow me a few minutes, like as if I have a choice. That's what he said. So tickets I got was $50, and so the weird thing is the ticketing is $50 for like toward the rear, and then if you wanted to sit in the free front row, it's like $257 for a ticket for a 50-minute movie, and and there is absolutely no reason really why you would want to sit up there anyway. I felt like where I sat was perfect. I was right at the bottom of the final mezzanine. And why would you want to sit anywhere else? I have no idea because then you wouldn't get to experience the whole dome. You would want to sit on the highest level, not have anything obstruct your view from above, and like maybe more towards center because I think the parallax would have worked better in center. But I was off center. It wasn't bad though. It was very. I still got the full feel of the show. Right. To me, also remember I have had a little bit. That maker meet your maker drink was really hitting me kind of hard. Plus whatever I had earlier. Yeah, 2 cents per pixels. That's true. May probably more than 2 cents per. Is it sparsely populated? Yeah, I mean it is. Well, there was probably I'd say about like 500 people in that audience because it's a huge stadium, right? And they do 3 shows a night. So I was at the 9:30 show. I was a late show. The late show is the cheapest show for that particular program. Um, but it was, yeah, it wasn't full by any stretch of the imagination, but it was pretty up, um, what you call it, pretty well attended. I thought it was pretty well attended because there was a considerable crowd coming in and out. Yeah, maybe not more, maybe like 1,000, maybe 1,000 people in the audience for that. But remember, this is built for huge. So I think the residency is U2. U2 is they do shows there all the time, or at least they do like on the weekends. I think. Where is it? It is in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it is up. It's actually, if you know where the Wynn Golf Course is, it's right behind the Venetian and across the way from the golf course. So I think what they do, I think it purposely, and you've seen photos of this now, is the outside has an LED display as well. So they put like a little emoji face out there, and he watches people golf. So people they line it up so certain holes where you get the tee up, the emoji will look at you and like, whoa, wow, and then if you time it just right, you'll hit the ball and it'll follow your ball. And like, oh my gosh, obviously it doesn't know, right? But anyhow, yeah. So I would, if you're in Vegas, I would recommend. I wouldn't say spend more than $50 on it. If you can get the $50 ticket, that's probably my price point for it. To me, it's like it's the experience is closer probably to like when people first experience Cinerama for the first time. It's kind of a the technology display is sort of amazing. The storyline is kind of goofy. I mean, the whole thing is like, well, this beauty of the planet, we destroyed the planet, therefore we all decided to leave the planet. Only a few people can come back and visit the. It's like, come on. All right, whatever. You know, these nature documentaries always have to have this angle that they play, which is like, we're destroying the planet. It's like, well, you can still shoot stuff like this, the planet. It's always kind of laughable, but you know, it is the genre. It's kind of a cliche of the genre to always go in that direction. So my friend Neelish should still not come back from his coffee break. All right, all right. So yeah, I would recommend that. I would recommend Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, I would. Uh, I felt I would say it's a little touristy. It's a lot of touristy things going on. It's a little touristy for the price. It's not. It's high. It's not the highest you're going to get. It's not like French Laundry high, but it is not. 18K will resolution will destroy the planet. That's true. That's very true. So anyhow, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Not anymore. They just say they got rid of that slogan actually. So in Vegas right now, if you guys don't know, they're gearing up for the F1 race. So they're going to have an F1 race that will actually the track will go down the strip, the main thoroughfare of Las Vegas Strip. By the way, if you don't know, Las Vegas Strip, the where the strip is, where the big mega hotels, that's not technically Las Vegas. That's actually Paradise. It's an unincorporated area of Las Vegas. Las Vegas proper is further to the north. So this is not technically Las Vegas. It's Paradise. It's Paradise, Nevada. But they call it Las Vegas, anyways. But anyhow, so they are doing they have all the stadium seats set up. They've got rigging along the entire almost the entire way of Las Vegas Boulevard, which is the main strip that all the hotels are based out of. And traffic is a nightmare. It is so incredibly bad right now to get anywhere on Las Vegas Boulevard. It is awful, 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 awful. So, and the actual race will be November 18th. So we're only about 2.5 weeks away. Uh, and I was looking it up, and it's estimated to bring in $1.3 billion. That's hard for me to comprehend. $1.3 billion. Now it's a little bit easier to comprehend after how much I spent for dinner at Hell's Kitchen last night for one. So I can guess it makes more sense when people are coming from all over the world, and coming to do and F1 racing fans are not NASCAR fans. F1 racing fans have a lot more disposable income than NASCAR fans. I'm sorry if that's offensive to your NASCAR fans, but yeah, no, F1 fans. I remember back like on Reddit, it went a photo of the actual like snack table for the F1 racing here in Las Vegas. The menu was like $150 for a plate of fruit. you know, so that's the kind of clientele we're working. My finally guy, the crucial guy finally wrote back and said, "Thank you for your patience while I look into this." That's right. Okay, there you go. You get 2 letters. Anyhow, so yeah, so 1.43, $1.4 billion to the local economy. It's hard to imagine, but they are paying for it. They are paying the crap out of it because the streets are all messed up. I mean, I'm sure they probably had to reinforce streets. They had to do some major construction. The actual track takes goes up Koval Street. If you know Vegas, you know Vegas geography. Koval Street, which run parallel to Las Vegas, and then down Las Vegas Boulevard, and that's they're gonna do 50 laps around that, and yeah, gonna make a lot of money. Oh, the mafia is not involved with Vegas. Haven't you ever watched Casino? Watch movies of Casino. Las Vegas is no longer mafia run. Maybe Fremont Street is, but not Las Vegas. Las Vegas is taken over by the corporations. The corporations don't let you. Corporations are are rougher than that. Shipping address is not mentioned in the well because I bought it on site. So, my God, these guys are they're just they want to make sure you do not get your stuff because they want to make it as painful as possible. So anyhow, yeah, that's what's going on in Vegas right now. Super exciting. Mafia has merged with the government. Maybe the mafia is the government. Who knows? No. Yeah, no Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby is not around. Forgive my lack of U.S. geography. Yes, Vegas is in the middle of a desert. It is. We are. So Vegas is an interesting location. Las Vegas in Spanish means I think the meadows. So there is some water here. So we are. It is surrounded by desert. The Mojave and the California desert to the southwest, and then the north is where like Area 51 and Groom Lake, so dry salt beds and stuff is to the northwest, and then other to the east, it is all pretty much desert. So it is sort of an oasis of stuff. Yeah, in Vegas. Although it's just become, it really has become kind of like the center of entertainment in the western half of the U.S. Basically, every conference is here right now. Actually, I'm being joined by the Apex and SM Smaga or some smaller, I forget, but it's the auto parts aftermarket auto parts conventions, and it's massive. Like there's lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff with lots of people here for that convention. So basically, all conventions have kind of migrated toward Las Vegas because that's kind of what this town is built for. There's literally every hotel has a convention hall. You can have big conventions, small conventions. You can do all kinds of stuff in Vegas. It's just so much easier. And despite what people say about it, like to get the kind of room that you can get here would cost 3 or 4 times anywhere else. So today I'm trying out the MGM signature SEMA. Thank you, Rick H. Yeah, SEMA. You would know SEMA. Yeah, that's what it is. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, SEMA, SEMA. There it is. There's the chat. Um, so yeah, I'm at the signature MGM signature. I'm a Vegas. I'm kind of a Vegas. Very well, very familiar with Vegas. I'm very intimately familiar with Vegas. Used to come up here all the time for NAB conventions. Not so much. I mean, I try to make it out now, but a couple years I kind of stopped because it's like, just gawking at equipment you can't afford. Yeah, SEMA's still a thing. I guess it's still. I didn't even know it existed before I came here. So I'm at the MGM Signature, which is an all condo resort. It's being hosted by Airbnb. So it's a pretty decent sized room, as you can see. There's my bed, but I do it through Airbnb, so I'm not paying for housekeeping, but I get free internet and I get really fast internet, which is why I can stream really well, really good streaming. Um, so yeah, the only thing I don't like about it is valet parking only. So they're valet parked my car full of big giant lights and projectors. But hey, I guess that works better. I guess that's better than like self parking it. But once you valet park it, it's really easy. But if you wanted to self park, you have to walk like 15 minutes. It's pretty bad. Another thing I don't like about it, it's a little bit of a jog to the strip. You have to go through the MGM hotel, then you can then you'll be finally on the strip. But it's not. That's actually a very nice room, very and not too expensive, like 150 a night or something like that. So not like outrageously priced. But anyhow, that's what I thought. So yeah, I remember not been spending enough time with your chats because I've been dealing with the crucial guy here. See, has he said anything else? Nope. All right, cool. All right, he's typing. I gotta watch out. Casino versus Goodfellas. Any votes? I'm more of a Goodfellas guy because I think Goodfellas is a little more tighter. Although Casino is pretty damn awesome, but I just like. I think Goodfellas has a energy to it that Casino is a little bit more like a little more subdued and a little more proper movie. Whereas Goodfellas feels like it's like wild and crazy, throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks in it. That's what I like about Goodfellas. Oh yeah, so yeah, SEMA stands for Specialty Equipment Manufacturers Association. So it's not a company itself. Am I gonna watch a UFC fight? Nah. So I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I think I might take it kind of easy. But I was thinking about going to see the Katy Perry show. I think well, I don't know if I can get tickets now, but their cheapest tickets was like $50. It's like, yeah, I heard Katy Perry's because I joke with my friends all the time. My friends are like dudes, and they don't like appreciate the fact that Katy Perry is hot like I do. Like I just love Katy Perry because I think she's cute, and she's kind of like she's like my one of my pixie dream girl thingies. You know, it's just got that what's her name, um, Zoe Deschanel kind of vibe to her, right? Right. You know, she obviously could pass as Zoe Deschanel in certain lights. But I make fun of my friends because my friends like, oh my god, what's wrong with you? I'm like, no. Have you seen California Girls? She wears a whipped cream bra that shoots whipped cream out of her bra. I'll keep it kind of PG. Yeah, UFC, Katy Perry, same thing, exactly. Now, so I was kind of thinking maybe I would go see the Katy Perry show. Problem with the Katy Perry show is it's all the way at Resorts World. Resorts World is very at the all the way down at the end of the strip, which probably means I'd have to take a get on the monorail, go up the monorail, go to the convention center, and at the convention center they have the Elon Musk experience, the Elon Musk experience. No, what it's called the Elon Musk tunneling thing, right? So they have like a hyperloop, which is really kind of lame. And I thought hyperloop was something cooler, but it's not. What it is a bunch of Teslas, and you think, oh, Teslas, it must be self-driving. No, no, they're not self-driving Teslas. Just a bunch of taxis, basically. You go underground and you get into a Tesla, and the guy just drives you to the resorts world. Just allow me a few minutes. I've allowed you so many minutes, buddy. Anyhow, so and then it's not free. But it's like $3 or whatever, so it's pretty cheap. And all that for Katy Perry, I don't know. Seems a long. Have you seen Katy Perry without makeup? Um, she's starting to get a little older, but you know, have you seen John Hess without hair? Uh, I'm not. I'm not one to judge. I'll still take. I ain't gonna kick her out of my life. No, I'm still Kitty. You know, like there's memes going around where they showing those old photos of Britney Spears. I said this is America I grew up in, and it was like wholesome Britney Spears, and then they show the Brit like this is America now, and it's Britney Spears, but it's her Instagram stuff where she's just insane, and I'm like, I'm still down. Like I grew up with Britney Spears as being basically Britney Spears was our Marilyn Monroe. Like my generation, like I'm probably a year older than her, maybe or a year younger, somewhere in that range. And I am not. I'd still, I would, I'd still put up with that crazy. I would still put up with the crazy because it's Britney Spears, bitch. That's true. If you like cars, go down the strip and check out the Royalty Exotics. And hello to Say hello to Houston. There you go. It's not that into cars, honestly. I drive a '97 Corolla or Camry. I'm not that into cars. Anyhow, So yeah, well, that's the extent of things. You guys are asking me if I seen any movies, and the answer is no. I have not watched any movies at all. It's really the last thing I even watched. I watched a little bit of One Piece, and I got into it for a little bit. It's like, well, I just don't have time to really devote to looking at watching any shows recently. So I haven't really done much with that. Um, it's a new season of something that came out. I was going to start watching. Oh, tried to watch Foundation, but I never did get into it that much. Rigel7 says Diamonds Are Forever had the best bad guy gadget explanation of all time. Um, Blofeld points to his death machine and then just says, he doesn't what? I must run out of words. Bullet says, judging by her Insta, she makes good chop suey. Is that Britney Spears? Britney Spears, she's got that like living room that's got the sunken floor, and she just sits there. She just like looks at. She has his crazy eyes, and she's got like probably a ton of like eyeliner, and she just stares at you. And she does her dancing. There, I just recreated the Britney Spears experience. Thank you very much. You're welcome. You're welcome, folks. You are welcome. You watched mentioned very depressing with the movie Blonde. Oh shoot. Well, depressing as in good movie or depressing as in man that sucks what happened to her. Try Old Dads by Bill Burr, not Oscar films, but a decent comedy. I'll check that out. Bill Burr is always fun to watch. Watch some pre-code movies. Yeah, yes, son. Watch some pre-code movies. Don't let the censors find out. Don't let David Breen see this shit. Dances with Knives is her latest. Is Britney's latest name. David Fincher has a new movie out, and it's supposed to be pretty damn good. Well, it's David Fincher, right? He doesn't make crap. He makes good stuff. All right, this guy's taking a few more minutes to get me my RAM update here. Lord. Anyhow, so by the way, so while I'm doing all this work, right, my computer starts acting up. It starts not the computer I just built in July, like it starts every time I boot it up. Like if I turn it off at night, I boot it up. It took like 4 tries before it actually booted into Windows. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And finally, right before I finished the Canyon Lake thing, like the 3 days before I was finishing up their videos, all 6 videos, I said to myself, I'm not turning the computer off because if I turn it off, I don't know if I can get this thing back on. So I finished the job, and I turned it off, and the very next day I turned it on, nothing would not come on at all. So my first assumption is probably the RAM. Well, first assumption actually was it was the cooler, the CPU cooler, because I was worried like the cooler it wasn't turning on because that was the first problem I had with the computer way back when I first built it because the cooler was not working. But I got a new cooler, put it in there, still doesn't come up. So I think it's the RAM, and it's DDR5, which has been known to have some issues with like RAM training and all that nonsense. I don't quite understand it, but it will be. But it should. Well, I left it on all night. Let it try to boot up for 16 hours. Nothing came of it. So oh well. So I want to try to RMA the RAM. This is why I'm talking to talking to these guys, and they're slow as f. My God. All right, what are we talking here? Have I sat through Killers of the Flower Moon? No. I heard I was watching Kermode talk about it. Seemed to like it, but man, it felt so. He said it felt so long, and I don't have the patience right now for long movies. Have you read Disney War by Patrick Stewart? No, I have not. Disney War. The Killer is the David Fincher movie coming out, which is Michael Fassbender. Okay, cool. Rian Johnson's wife, Karina Longworth, has a podcast called "You Must Remember This: History of the Old Hollywood Documentaries." Clearly, the things are cutting off your texts. Maybe do I need to set this to a different? Because this is the first time I use my laptop for this. Let's no, let's not. Let's limit the characters to like 500. There we go. That will probably help out. Refresh. Maybe that will work better. All right. Let's see. You can actually read your texts. All right. I think Skynet's getting real. I think the stuff that I haven't searched in recently and YouTube are suggesting them afterwards. I noticed for sure that like once I made a couple posts that I was in Vegas, I got a lot of more Vegas advertising. So I legitimately don't think that people. I think they are tracking you and they're advertising to you, tracking you. I did see Asteroid City. I saw Asteroid City. Well, when it came out, when it was theaters. Oh, you got a Mint Mobile commercial in the middle of my stream? That's how I get my 5 cents, baby. I'm gonna pay for this trip. So I did a survey with Google when they were talking about adding like some sort of super chat goal for the stream. All right, he finally got me an RMA. Okay, let me write that. Is that in an email that you can send me? There we go. So I was talking to Google, and they're like, "Hey, so we want to do this thing where you can do like these goals for your super chat for your live streams." And I thought, is that really appropriate for what I do? Can I do like a goal, a super chat goal? Like, yeah, we're gonna go for $100, $100. Send in your super chats. We're goals. And like, yeah, it didn't feel very right for what I do. Although I was telling them, well, I could do like a goal for making if we could do like a Kickstarter thing for like making the next studios video or something like that. I'd be kind of down for that, but yeah, not necessarily like goal $100 kind of feels a little too cam girl thing. All right, I think I'm gonna be actually done with this dude. All right, let's see. Make sure I get my email. James Taylor. Oh, James Taylor's a guy now, not the James Taylor. All right, what are your chats? A dollar thon. The thing that's also kind of annoying about YouTube super chats is like a lot of it goes to YouTube. So, you know, there we go. What would you say is the most common, best, most practical F/T stop for filmmaking? Um, it depends on your angle of your width, your focal length, and it depends on what you're trying to do and the distance from your subject matter. But I would say like F4 is probably a good place to be. It's anywhere between F4. Although I shot a lot of my stuff in the last couple projects at somewhere in the F8 area. So historically speaking, is F4 to F5.8 or somewhere in that direction is where a lot of old Hollywood movies were shot at. And the reason why I know this, or the reason why I can kind of tell you a couple of these things, is because of that. There's an article that Greg Townsend, is it Town or Toland, the cinematographer for Citizen Kane, wrote an article for American Cinematographer magazine, ASC magazine, back in the day too, where he talks about how most films are shot, you know, between they use T values at that time, T3 to T3 through T4, and he was talking about how on Citizen Kane it was different because they shot anywhere between T8 and T16 was was the stop that they were using because they wanted that deep depth of field. So so he was talking about how like like that was kind of what he was using for Citizen Kane, because and it necessitates a lot more light too. Bullet science is sharpest point for most lenses between f8 and f11. Yep, that's true. I think when you get to the more cinematography lenses, though, they're obviously built to be used in a lower range. But lower as in within reason. Probably in the realm of like f stop t 2.8 or somewhere in that 2.8 3.2 something like some of those. Photography lenses tend to, like Bullet says, is definitely you take portrait photos and you jump to f8, you will see a dramatic difference in this. Well, in my opinion, you'll see a dramatic difference in sharpness. Like it just like things pop at f8 and above. Um, but yeah, yeah. So that's the answer to that. On your PC, have you tried pulling out all the RAM and see if it beeps at you during the boot and putting them back into one? Yeah, so I pulled them. I put them in one at a time, and so what happens is I put them in, and the computer won't even boot to post. It will just sit there blinking, like the light blinking. And from what I understand with DDR5, it needs memory training. For some reason, DDR5 requires a certain kind of technique applied to it. I don't really understand it, but anyhow, so I don't know. I'm just kind of fed up. I'm just like, well, I'm just going to replace the RAM. Just going to replace it. Just going to get rid of new RAM. Which aspect of movie making that accounts for most of the budget? The people. It's a good question. Great question, though. The I remember somebody was. I remember talking to this one economic developer for a city that I live in. This is way back when. I'm actually now under contract to do. I gotta return that contract. I'll do it. But I want to be under contract with them for at least 3 years to produce some videos for them. And they said, I remember we were talking this at a event, and she was like saying, "Oh man, the equipment costs so much these days." To like, and I corrected her, as I tend to do so. I'm a very terrible social person. I tend to correct people on stuff. But I said, no, the equipment doesn't cost that much. It's the people that cost that much money, because the people are what, like if you like add up the cost of what it takes to shoot a very basic small movie, even if you're doing what's called the least favored nations or most favored nations or whatever, there's a certain contract where basically everyone gets paid a certain amount of money. All right. And if you do like, a cast of like 4 people, let's say they're getting $200 a day, which is, very, very cheap. $200 a day to do work, 12 hours is very cheap. So if they're getting paid 4 people, that's $800. Plus you got your camera operator, you've got your sound, maybe a couple PAs. PAs might be making like less, but even at $100 a day, that's not sustainable. So it's very, very cheap. You're spending, you could easily spend $3,000 to $5,000 just on people, right, for a day, right? And this is low budget film. This is like no budget film, micro budget. You're spending, close to what is it, like 1,000? Well, no, I said probably 3,000 to $5,000 a day, if everyone's getting paid like just $200. $200 is not livable wage, not anyway, not really, right? Um, so uh, so yeah, so that's where the cost goes. Favored nations. There you go. It's a tit for tat thing. There you go. That's what that term. I never understood where that term came from, but there it is. Favored nations. So yeah, so people are the cost. And okay, well then you say, well, to rent a red is like to rent a red for a week is like maybe 3 or 4 grand. That's true. But if you got a red, then you're probably paying for like a DP, a first camera operator, maybe a second camera operator, add another cost to that. So it just gets compounded. And so the big movies, right? The big Disney movies, it's like, or big studio movies, just sit and watch all the credits. And I think each of those people are not getting paid $200 a day. They're getting paid more than that. They're getting paid, 8 to 1,000 plus a day, right? Uh, Editors themselves make, 6 grand a week. Like, that's what typical editing, maybe plus, maybe more than that, maybe even more like 10 to 20 grand a week if they're really top end editors, like cream of the crop editors could make plus more than that. And but then they'll work like 10, 11 weeks, a year, well, a project, and then either take a break or come back, jump to another project. Let's see what my buddy here at Crucial says. All right, the agent has ended the chat. Cool. Nope, we are good. Cool. Very good. Focus on you, people. Focus on you, people. So yeah. This kind of so on the last Saturday, uh, to go to tell you another story about me correcting people. I was shooting a choir concert. I was recording a choir concert, and I was packing it because I had to run from the choir concert, go home real quick, switch cars, and go to my show. And so I was packing it real quick, and this one guy in the choir is like, "Hey, I'm a filmmaker too. I want to." He's like, "What kind of recorder do you have?" That's like my Zoom F8N. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's a new one, right?" I was like, "No, it's the original one." So he doesn't shoot to record 32-bit float. I'm like, no, it doesn't need float. It's like, well, yeah, well, I had to get I'm thinking about getting the sound devices because these zooms aren't professional enough for a set. I'm like, Zoom F8N is not professional enough for a set. What does that mean? All right. He's like, yeah, because it doesn't have 32-bit float. I'm like, oh dear. And it's like I just like railed him. I just like, look, you don't need 32-bit float. It's like, yeah, but I do because I'm a solo. I know you don't. I recorded your choir concert without 32-bit float. You don't need 32-bit float. So yeah, and then that got my blood boiling. Well, not boiling, but it got my blood pumping for like some argument about 32-bit float. Like, come on, bring it on here. Let's start this 32-bit float nonsense because people are, well, don't call my equipment not professional enough. Start there. Don't pull that shit on me. All right. Do big movies need to hire a union? Yes, they do. So union, and because of their union, they're obviously going to be paid quite a bit more. So a lot more. So that's where all the money goes. It literally goes into people. People are the biggest chunk of money, and it's also including like stars too. Famous stars make huge amounts of money doing that. I mean, I'm obviously like sets and stuff like that to be built and all that obviously costs money, but it's not. I would say probably. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't broken down a budget, and every movie's different, so who knows what percentage. But people are primarily the cost of making movies. Like you ever notice, like you ever hear about like how the government wastes all this money? Oh, the government wastes $30 million last year on someone something, and I was thinking to myself, well, somebody got $30 million. So if the government spends a bunch of money on useless crap, hey, at least somebody's made that money. It still goes. It's not like it just disappears. It goes into the economy somehow. So yeah, but yeah, somebody made money. Those movies that cost that much money, somebody paid their mortgage with that money. So don't. I mean, I'm not. I don't cry a lot for that. Just finished watching a 48-hour film at the AFI Silver in Silver Springs, Maryland, for the Washington D.C. sci-fi horror. Yes, they were all pretty bad, including mine, but took your advice and just had fun. Oh, good. So I was going to try to do one because in San Diego they're going to test out this AI version of the 48, and I was kind of curious about it. But then they kind of moved it around. I don't know when it's running. But I was kind of geared up to do it, but that would have been like 2 weeks from now. But they changed everything, so I'm guessing there are rules for hiring. There's a lot of rules, lots of rules. I don't want to go too deep into it. Frank Pelosi. Well, does he have some good stock tips for me? I'd like to hear some stock tips for Frank Pelosi. Are you a camera operator? I am everything. I am your one-man band. I like everyone's like tells me, "Well, I can't shoot 32-bit float because I'm a one-man band." Like I'm a one-man band too, motherfucker. I'm totally a one man band. Bullet Sign says you can rent Arri Alexa for $1,300 a week. Let's see if you know the rental houses. Yeah, so that's not bad. 1,300 a week. If you think that's broken up to 5 working days, that's not. That's like what? Yeah, that's a little over like two and change for a well 600. So if you did 6 days, if you plan to use it 6 days, that'd be like 100 and 100 or two, a little more than 200 a day, which not bad for the camera. Now you have to get a lens. Make sure you rent a lens on top of that. So, uh, just watched a small budget movie called Jules. There you go. No amount of money can make up for a shitty environment and a horrible boss. There you go. That's true. Pet Patrol says that I am everything, John Hess. I am the sum of everything, everywhere, all at once. That is correct. Oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. Probably gonna try to take it easy. I'm definitely not gonna get. I'm not gonna get in my car. That's for sure. I'm gonna drink some more Asian pear suasion. Yeah. So I also have a pineapple going right now, a pineapple brew, and a guava beer that I thought was interesting because I went to Costco and I was looking at all the juices, and the guava juice came out really like it spoke to me because it had such an insanely high sugar content. I'm like, this is gonna ferment real well. So that's nice. All right, how much revenue do you think? Oh, how much revenue do you think an author of a book is entitled to of a movie based on their book? Like, do producers just contact the authors and, hey, I want to make a movie out of your book? Great question. So what happens is a book is written, it becomes a hit, and a producer will usually approach the book author, and they will make a deal with the book, the author, and they will say, hey, I want to make a movie of your book. And the author says, great. How much are you going to pay me? So what producers generally do is they'll say, okay, I will give you some money up front now, you know, a token amount of money up front now, and then I will give you a certain percentage of whatever money the movie makes. However, most producers don't have the ability to necessarily make that movie right then and there. What the producer will do is usually then make buy what's called an option. So let's say I have the ability to make a movie using your book as a story, as a basis, but give me the option to make it for, let's say, 10 years. So give me 10 years to make it. I'll pay you this much money now, and this is how much money it will make, or how much percentage of the movie you'll make. Right? It's up in the air. So if it's a brand new author, it might be low. If it's a really well known author, it might be quite high. If it all depends on the market force, right? So then the producer will shop that movie around for a while, and try to go to different studios. Hey, I got this cool book. Is make a great idea for a movie, and then it'll go through what's called development. Right? Development is when you try to write a script from that movie, from that book, and you try maybe get some stars attached to it. Try to get some famous people to look at, say, hey, I got Leonardo DiCaprio that said he agreed to be in the movie. So then you try to shop it to different studios who have the money to actually put a production together. So that's basically how it works. The reason why I kind of go through all that because the top of mind was I just did a show called Catch Me If You Can, and it was very interesting because the book I think was written in the early '80s, very early '80s, '81 or something like that, and it was purchased up by Steven Spielberg. And I thought if you think back in that time, Steven Spielberg he's relatively fresh off of Jaws, maybe a couple other movies in the late '70s. He was getting big. He wasn't quite the household name he is today, but he was on his way to getting big. And he bought the rights to the book in like '80s, sometime in the '80s, and it wasn't until like 2005 when the movie was actually released. So that's how long something can be in development hell, right? Forever. So yeah, good question. I like those questions because it allows me to pontificate. Rick has to give out candy. I forgot today's Halloween. I knew I came out to Vegas to see what Halloween looked like on Vegas. I have no idea what's going on. Are we doing Halloween drinking? We've been drinking. Been drinking for a while. Ah, look how Stallone got Rocky made. That should answer your question. There you go. I don't even know the whole story behind them. There's a longer story behind that. I don't know it right now. Petro's getting drunk on red rum. Everything is Me, Jay Hess, circa 2003, 23, Out of Context Magazine, Volume 17. Love that magazine. Uh, do you think it would be worth producing a second Idiocracy or save effort just life right now? Here, right now? Like, I like the movie Idiocracy. I don't love it, but like, um, I bristle a little bit to think that we're an Idiocracy. We're not. I feel that movie got a lot right, but it got the superficial shit right. And like I don't think it. I don't feel like we're in idiocracy right now. I feel like we're more in like more like in a. I can't even think of a thing. Basically, everybody is trying to feed you misinformation, and and the entire internet is built. Entire media structure is built on outrage, and I don't know what the solution to that is. Honestly, like how many like everybody it's this weird gossip thing. I don't think we're an idiocracy. I don't think we're in that movie at all. I feel like we're more in like, well, I don't think people are idiots. I think people are more like, why aren't I getting, I mean, so here's the thing, like, if we're gonna get political, I'm not gonna get super political, but or like, you can sit there as your average Joe thinking, man, I worked my butt off to scratch out a living. And I hear about these guys in government that are making like children of certain ex vice presidents making, $70,000 a year to do cocaine and sleep with hookers. And here I'm busting my butt to eke out a meager living. Why the fuck am I doing that? Why don't I? Why aren't I on the board of some gas company on the other side of the country, other side of the world, and I have absolutely no background in that industry? Hmm. That's that's where I think we are. I don't think we're idiots. I think we're more like, fuck this. Why am I doing all this work when that other guy over there is just leeching off of the system off our taxes? Yeah, that's my thing. So that's my opinion. All right. But one thing I do love about Idiocracy is every time I go to Costco, because I go to Costco and I do the self checkout because I only buy like two or three because I'm just a single guy. I don't need to buy a bunch of shit at Costco, but I go to Costco and every time I buy stuff from the line, the little mechanical woman's voice is, "Thank you for shopping Costco." They always emphasize Costco, Costco, and every time I hear that, I hear, well, "Thank you for shopping at Costco. I love you," and that's my a tear comes out of my eye because someone says I love me. Welcome to Costco. I love you. It's my favorite part of that. One of my favorite parts of the movie. I mean, the movie's got a lot of great stuff, but yeah. If I made a movie in the past about our current time, it would be called Absurdistan. There you go. Yeah, there is some weird shit going on with her. What actor would you like to direct in a production of yours? Why? Good question. I don't know. Uh, Huh. I wish I could tell you. You know, it'd be fun. Sam Rockwell, because I like Sam Rockwell a lot, and Sam Rockwell has a he, he knows how to like to channel a certain. So some of the fun actors I work with that are in my social group, we got one guy named Ed. If Thurman's still watching, he'll know Ed. But you can kind of hand Ed something like, this is a character. Pick it, like just come up with something to go with his character, and he usually delivers something that's just like outrageously fun and wild and makes sense. It's not too over the top. Um, I think Sam Rockwell would probably be able to pull that off because he's such a pliable character, an actor. He's not like a lot of actors. Don't you feel that are just kind of one note, or they've been pigeonholed to a certain kind of a feeling, like like trying to give you an example. Um, what's his face? Stoner guy. You know, what I'm talking about that one stoner guy, Pineapple Express, right? He's Seth Rogen. All he does is, for the most part, stoner guy. I guess he's in that new movie with about the GameStop stock where he plays an asshole. So maybe not, but yeah, I think Sam Rockwell would be a guy like because I think he does a lot of fun stuff. If you're acting like which female actress, well, there's a lot. When I read Disney War, I realized the reason that Disney animation stagnated is because Disney Corporation is big enough and don't need them to succeed. Interesting. See if you follow up. Somehow Disney still has a reputation as an animation powerhouse when their output has not produced great masterpieces artistically or financially for 2 decades. They're living off the past. Very true. Very true. I also get the sense. All right, this is very politically incorrect. Although we're late into the stream now, so no one on YouTube is watching. Disney attracts a certain type of person. Um, you know how nowadays there's this stereotype of the Disney adult, the adult that goes to Disneyland like every month or every other weekend that has a season pass, even though those season passes are like the cost of a like easily a couple $1,000 or maybe less, but they're north of 1,000 now, I think. So I think people that work for Disney that want to work for Disney are a certain breed of people. Um, Now, all right, to go into the whole idea of the wokeism, right? I think those people that go to Disney are going to be the ones that are going to be pushing that woke agenda. So, and I don't mean nefariously. I mean like they aren't the hyper competitive kind of libertarian minded. Let's make great art. They're more fairies, I guess you want to put it that way. Francie, I'm being very very judgmental. I'm not. I don't mean this, and I don't try to. I'm not trying to mean it in a bad way because I would probably get along fantastically with some of these people, but they tend to be a little more less driven artistically and more about like the fact that it's Disney, you know. So that's why I think that's a problem. I think with Disney, and maybe part of the reason why they haven't had a lot of great like animation success. They, like you said, they have been coasting on the animation from the '90s. I just been skipping all your chats. Let's go back. Is Eddie Murphy still alive? I think he is. He's enjoying his Shrek money. We keep forgetting that Eddie Murphy was a big part of Shrek. Like, don't forget that. Him and Mike Myers are probably, they're coasting on that money alone. That's just so ridiculously much money that they did. Disney's living out. No, I don't think Disney's living out the 40s. I mean that the run in the 90s, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and Lion King. Like those, I think they're living off of that. Like that's still popular. They're not really. I can't wait for the live action remake of Song of the South. Have you ever worked with a production company that had no idea whatsoever how to make a film? Yes. My take on Sam Rockwell is that he was so good, and anytime I see him in something, I think it's Guy from Galaxy Quest doing well for himself. Absolutely. Yeah, Sam Rockwell is underappreciated. There you go. Petro says he disagrees. I think people have never been as stupid as they are these days. Smartphones, or where did chat go? Dumb people, another polar potential life for a movie. Yeah, maybe you might be right because I don't really interact with those people that much. I mostly interact with people that are either online or offline. And the people I generally work with are not dumb. But you might be right. You might be right because I was at Hell's Kitchen last night and I was at the bar because I was eating by myself because I'm a loner. Just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I am. I was alone. But sitting next to me, two people came in and sat next to me, and they were eating and they're talking about Hell's Kitchen, and neither one had seen the show. And I'm like, why are you at this restaurant if you've never seen the show? They had no idea what the show was even about, like how it worked. So, I mean, you might be right. I just don't. I don't think. I just don't think people are that dumb. But maybe because I just don't hang around with really dumb people. That might be why. Thomas Hines said he saw Sound of the South in theaters in the early 70s. There you go. In a letter from the animation department in 2005 during the signed by thousands of animators complained that about what I complained about watching any Disney films today. Really? Yeah. I will. Yeah, well, that's 2005. Let's go back here. What do you think of Requiem for a Dream? I have not seen Requiem for a Dream. The problem with it is, though, I just don't know if I want to watch it. Just feels too depressing. That's the thing. That's why I don't want to watch it. Welcome to Carl's Jr. Would you like another big ass fries? So the funny thing about that is they don't. Carl's Jr. doesn't have. They kind of stopped doing their whole like if it doesn't get in your face or doesn't if it doesn't get all over the place doesn't belong in your face kind of advertising. They kind of like toned it all down a little bit. So I was getting annoyed because on Facebook I put a little post up about AI, and I basically said something to the extent of like it's not that AI is coming for your job, it's that the guy that knows how to use AI is coming for your job. Like I think that's legitimately the case because I don't think AI is gonna take over. We talk about this all the time. I don't think AI is a threat to people necessarily. It is a threat to people that don't know how to use it because the people that do know how to use it will come in and just basically wipe the floor with you. So I think as a creator, you probably should learn how to use AI at least to the best advantage. The thing with AI though is it doesn't understand intent, and AI doesn't. AI is like a really good copyist that doesn't have any clue how anything works. So AI will make some really just boneheaded mistakes, and it's up to you, the artist, to kind of correct and guide the AI to kind of go in the right direction. And I don't think it will ever be one situation where the AI will be perfectly in control. So, anyways, I was having this discussion. Well, not discussion on Facebook. It kind of started annoying me because basically this guy said, "Oh, your movies will not exist in a year because they'll just all be taken over by AI." It's like, no, no, it won't, because frankly, no one will want to watch that shit. It's the most cliche, boring stuff at all, right? So I just kind of like I got really pissed off and then get rid of them. But basically, the reason why I bring this up is because we talk about idiocracy. Be careful of linear thinking, like never like don't think just because it is going a certain direction now that will always go in that direction forever and ever and ever, because that's like playing chess. Well, that's like playing chess and not thinking what your opponent's going to do. It's like if you play out your plan in chess, then you'll get that checkmate in 3 turns, right? Because you're going to move here, then you're going to move here, then you're going to move here, and boom, checkmate, boom, I win, right? It doesn't work that way. Life does not work that way. History does not work that way. It's never linear. It's never linear. So to think that, so that's my problem with idiocracy, is that it's like, okay, we see kind of the direction society's moving in, and we just expend on that linearly this direction. It's a straight line from here to whatever idiocracy becomes. And that's not the way it works. Like it's never linear. There's always a counterbalancing force. And it's the same thing I feel with AI, right? So AI will, AI. You think, well, if just imagine AI is so good this year. Imagine what it is in 6 years from now, 5 years from now. Yeah, but it will change. It will also there'll be other forces pushing in another direction, and there's always counteracting forces. So there's always stuff that's going on between the two. So anyhow, that's what I'm thinking. Any thoughts about the ongoing Palestinian genocide? I don't even want to touch this really, but I'll just mention it. I mean, can you say Palestinian genocide without saying the Jewish genocide as well? I cannot. Like I don't want to address one side brutality without recognizing that there was a lot of brutality before. And do I wish it was? If I wish there was peace in the Middle East, yes. But I feel like Jesus would also say, uh, Jesus predicted this 2,000 years ago, right? Jesus is sitting there like going, man, Jerusalem is all going to be effed up. And he was not wrong in the year 30 AD, whatever he made that claim. And it's still going on because I don't know why. I just can't you all just get along? I know that's too simplistic, but you gotta freaking one of these days, guys, just figure it out. Figure it out yourselves. Thurman's back. You gotta make sure he's back. Hi from Spain. How you doing, Pedro? Yeah, Idiocracy is a comedy, not supposed to be a documentary. Yep, totally agree. There's a David Goliath. Well, not necessarily, because I don't. Does David didn't hide behind the people. Like the problem with the whole Palestinian issue is the Palestinians are legitimately putting rockets in like places where they shouldn't be rockets. They're not. They're fighting asymmetrically war, obviously, but then they're kind of basically claiming that well you attack this place. Well, we put a bunch of civilians there. Yeah, use them as human shields. So look, and I don't, and yeah, and the fact of the matter is, if people civilians die, and I'm not like this, I'm not going to be super, well they died because they no, any government any war that happens to kill civilians, that's just it's terrible, like death, like it is awful, um, but I don't know. I can't like condemn Israel for doing what they do because well, hey, so going down Las Vegas Strip, there are a lot of posters. I didn't realize what they were at first. They're like kidnapped. This person's been kidnapped. So they had like posters of all the people that the Hamas has kidnapped during the Gaza stuff. I don't know. He started that shit. Fuck around, find out. Kind of on that side too. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about that side. Yeah, it's there's no way, there's no good answer. There's like literally there's no good. I can't just come out and say, well, this is exactly what we need to do. We need to go this direction because there isn't. It's such a fucked up situation, and I hope we don't make it more fucked up than it already is because it's fucked up. It is so fucked up. The only word on this is that Hamas is a government that really isn't not very nice to citizens. Probably, I don't know. Who knows? That's the thing. We're also in the information age where basically, if you thought COVID was hard on information, just wait till you see what happens when you start doing war. Because there's no information that can you trust anybody. Uh, uh, can we condemn bombing refugee camps? Depends. If you put a bunch of rockets and military assets in a refugee camp, Depends, like if you could figure out a way to like basically hide all your gear there. No, I agree. Bombing refugee camps is not right, but I also agree that paragliding into it and basically murdering people door to door isn't right. But you know, I'm not condemning anything. I have no clue what's going on. I just condemn Disney for destroying Star Wars, which is probably the proper thing to do. Yeah, I have. Who here is ready to go see the Marvels? No one. Yeah, thought I was wrong about being a good guy. That's all right. I'm not sure you're a good guy. Yeah. So just started watching. You go first. There you go. Yeah, truth is bombing campaigns never succeeded. And to shield politicians from facing the questions of death of soldiers. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, who do you believe in any of this too? It's like, well, you can believe one side, but you can also see the murdered side of the other stuff. Like it's just no way to get around it. Did Shifty finally leave me because he realized I'm a bad person? I hope so. Here, let's answer this question from Victor Roca. I think you said you're a fine art teacher. I stopped. I was commenting on the other stuff too much, but let's talk refer. So, has studying film killed the magic for you? Are you still excited when you come across a great film, or do you see it as your job? No, it has not killed the magic for me. It's actually the opposite. I appreciate it more so because it allows me to see things in movies that weren't there before. I'll be honest. So I know. I think you were saying you were a fine art teacher. Isn't that what you said earlier? Um, like when I watch some of my students work, I get really excited because even though I can obviously see all the mistakes and all the technical problems, I see some sparks and some elements of it. So studying cinema in a sense has gotten me to really like appreciate the intentions more so. And so when I see something that's really great, I see more than just, I see intentions, I see where they're going with this, I see how they're playing this angle and how to make it work. So it is vastly improved increased my appreciation of it. Counts as a so far. I gotta like keep going for. Last 3 weeks is 8,000 people dead, nothing closer to defeat Hamas. I don't know who even that number is true or not. Yeah. So you also you did not stop bothering seriously. I thank you for addressing it, not even if you disagree. I just don't like the thing that even I don't know how much we disagree. I just don't know. I don't know what I don't know what's true or not. So the thing about the whole Palestinian thing, like you guys that are arguing about that, you're not seeming to be very upset that the attack happened on the Gaza stuff. The are you upset that they took they kidnapped a bunch of people and they killed a bunch of people? Does that not equate? Does that factor? Or are you just going to be silent on that part? I'm not trying to like start a fight. I'm just saying, like, if you don't understand where they're coming from, then I don't know if you understand the situation, right? If that whole shocking video, of all the attacks and they paragliding across the border and all shit like that. If you're very upset, then what do you suggest we do? Or what are you guys doing to fix? What's the suggestion? How do we fix that? If that really bothers you, what's the solution? What are you going to give up? Do you think the Palestinians should just like give up the people? Should they do that? Be like, we do not stand for this. Here's the people that are involved with this. Have what you will with them. Do we do that? And why aren't we doing that? I think that's the problem, right? Like you can't like you well you if you say well they're bombing, well Did you guys give up the guys? Did you give up the leaders of Hamas that started the plan, or are you still hiding them? That's the thing, right? I don't know if that's kind of getting. Do you have an answer to that? I'll wait for it. I'm not trying to like put you on the spot. I'm just saying, like, where's that answer? It resembles World War One. Well, I don't think it resembles World War One because we got a lot more information. Okay. Border allocation, hostage return, public works transfer, peace. It is equivalent to slavery. That doesn't sound like an answer though. Like not hostage. Not. I don't want hostage return. Give me the give me the leaders and the people that attacked, and I will basically we will execute all of them. Like if that's not on the table, then I don't think anything else is on the table. Like who started the attack? Like, give me that stuff. Give me all of that. Anyhow, I think that's the problem. Like you're offering hostage return or something. No, no, no. Every last person that was involved with that attack needs to be destroyed. There you go. The previous government got voted out in 2006 when Hamas took over, and which is corrupt and supported by ISIS. Well, give me the people that are involved with that. So anyhow, and Thomas is saying that the funds given to Palestine are restored power and water diverted to building tunnels. I don't know if that's true. So prisoners who aren't yet prisoners return is the key to allowing Palestine to live. No, no, I didn't say that. I said give me the no, no, not prisoner. Like the prisoners. This is not. No, this is you need retaliation. Like you guys walked in, or whoever it is walked across the border and killed a bunch of people. They need to be destroyed. Like just literally destroyed. Allow you to live? Yeah. You want to live? Turn over the people that decided to kill those innocent people. Literally just flew across and murdered the Jewish people. Maybe get rid of the whole thing about how Israel needs to be destroyed. No, Hamas leaders. Yeah, so we agree. Okay, Hamas leaders being sent to Israel. Sure, and then they can be destroyed. Well, yeah. I mean, if we are in agreement on that, then I think we are agreed. No more bombing. Give us all your leaders. Give us return the hostages. Give us all the leaders. Give us the names of everybody involved, and we will hunt them down the way they do it in Munich. Just hunt them down, and then let's live in peace. No more of that kill all the Jews stuff. Maybe tone that down a little bit. Get rid of that kill all the Jews, and then we'll be down for peace. So yeah, I think we've solved it. Oh no, 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 no! No, you can't. No, you don't wait for a ceasefire. You hand those over, or else you have to hand them over first, and then it will be peace. Right? This is what Palestine always wanted. Don't believe that. I don't believe that. Pepsi, brought to you by Pepsi. Yes, exactly. If Israel's destroyed, now Israelis don't make that many movies. It's the Jews that make them. No, I love the Jewish people. That's in Hollywood. There's like a blacklist now of people that are like, so they're going to start a blacklist of people that are speaking too anti-Jewish. But you know what? You bring what you brought. Like, yeah, the area's been in war this land for like 3,000 years. As I said, Jesus has said himself like, has already said, like, yeah, this is the thing. Read a book or three. Yeah, sure. The thing about books is books are oftentimes full of lies. So it depends on what book you read. Like literally, I've gone through books, and like I've I've read like certain books like on green screen. Like this is completely incorrect. Well, the thing about going back into history is like saying, well, these guys were here first. Eh, that only matters for so long. After a while, it's like it doesn't matter if they were there 3,000 years ago. Just they gotta find a way to find some peace and just not freaking go at each other. Like the same argument we made about like America with the Native Americans. Oh, the Native Americans were there for 3,000 years, and they were there for 3,000 years, so therefore they have a rightful. I was like, okay, but they're no longer ones. So yeah, books are real, stuck in time. The time they were printed. Unfortunately, no books have been recently printed. You know, Come on, don't make me educate you that books aren't always. So just because it's printed doesn't mean it's true either. Like, the whole thing about the Maine getting destroyed by the Cubans in the early 1800s, late 1800s, and that was all printed and all that stuff, and that wasn't true either. The Romans, no, see, don't you think about the Roman Empire, like every single day? Yeah, every single day. You're advocating for peace about groups working together, my guy. LOL. I have no idea what you're on about. I have no idea what you're on about. Of course, I want peace. I want groups to be working together. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you how to do it. You know, I just can't. Believe me, if I could tell you how to solve this, it probably would be solved because there's probably a lot more people that are know a lot more about this stuff that are going to be able to figure it out. Thomas says, "I am not saying that Jewish people are entitled land, but remember it was carved out after. Yeah, it was all British owned and all that stuff, and you know, quit calling me my guy. I hate when people say that because it sounds so condescending. It'd be really nice at the moment, my guy. Yeah, of course it'd be nice. I can't tell you how. What's the best film of the year so far? God, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I hate these best films of the year because what happens is they always save the best films of the year till the end of the year, right before Oscar season. You know, so that's when probably when the best movies will come out. My favorite movie so far this year. I haven't even seen that many of them. I want to say maybe I don't want to say Barbie movie. So it wasn't my favorite. It's my favorite to talk about, but it wasn't my favorite movie. Um, but I guess if it was, oh, shoot, I'm trying to think of a movie that a movie that I enjoyed. How about this? A movie that I enjoyed was No Hard Feelings. So I really enjoyed that movie. Um, but yeah, my favorite movie. It's not like super high quality, but it's my favorite, probably most enjoyable movie. That or maybe I did enjoy the one they called it was it the original title was Joy Fuck Club. It's about the four Asian girls that go to China to find their original birth mother. Um, I forget the name of how that one was anyway. Yeah. I don't want European settlers removed from America. I don't want Europeans to work with indigenous transfer that to Palestine and Israel. Well, yeah, as long as as long as the as long as they stop firing rockets into Israel, maybe we start there. So I don't know. I just don't know. Like if you got a charter that says, "Hey, all the Jewish people must die," that might be not be a good start. So anyhow, Thomas Hines says Christianity is not compatible with Islam. Certain kinds of Islam and certain kinds of Christianity. Let's put some qualifiers on that, right? There are some sects of Christianity that are not even compatible with secular America. Westboro Baptist Church is not necessarily compatible with the American experience. Let's put it that way. And certain types of Islam, I'm sure, are not. I'm sure are completely compatible. I've got friends that are Islamic that are, boy. So one of the things from Postcards of Earth was they showed a mosque, and they showed folks praying in a mosque, and I was struck by how beautiful that mosque was. There is a there is a beauty of Islam. I wonder if it was Islam. Yeah, I think it was Islam. There are obviously there are sects of Islam that are troublesome. There are sects of Christianity that are troublesome. Fortunately, right now, I think there's some more danger in terms of who's in power. But obviously, if you have certain kind of fanatical Christian sects in power, it could also be an issue. So, personally, I'm holding out for the Vulcans to show up. There you go. Comments coming through, which wouldn't be part of the charter of an oppressed nation. I don't know. I don't. I think a charter of an oppressed nation calling for the death of another nation is not necessarily. That's not a good way to start, my guy. It's not necessarily conducive to building relations. Wait, there's another Wonka movie. Yeah, the Wonka movie is with Timothy Chalamet. I believe it's going to. So you'll during the holidays you'll have a chance to see Dune with Timothy Chalamet, and then Wonka with Timothy Chalamet. Their account promises, quote, beyond the furrow of the border, the sea of hatred and desire for revenge is swelling. There you go. They have been sitting in Moshe Danya, 1956. They have been sitting in the refuge camps in Gaza, and before their eyes have been transforming the lands and villages where they and their father dwelt into this date. Yeah, that's why I think I get it, but I saw Dune on Netflix. There you go. Yeah, Bertrand Russell and Einstein warned them in 1970s there won't be peace. I don't know. There's got to be a way, but yeah. Like I said, if I were smarter, or maybe I'm just maybe there's just no way around this thing. It's got to keep fighting it out till they're all dead. That's why I keep telling my friends, like, you know, I know this is called the Holy Land, but I feel like I could probably find my own Holy Land, someplace where even a little bit more, a little less crazy, and we can just all kind of like get along and not be dicks to each other, in both sides. But yeah, I know, Rick, but I was kind of getting my, I don't get to talk a whole lot about this stuff, so I guess I was kind of going to it. Maybe let's put a button on. Let's put it that way. Let's put a button on the fact that we're not going to talk more about the politics of the impossible situations going on here. What frame rate is best for war coverage? That's obviously 24. Just kidding. Probably 30 or 60. Do you ever think about making film reviews? I know it's saturated content, but I really think you would be the best at it and tired of nerd writer style essays. I'm very tired of nerd writer as well. I got in trouble. Right? You guys know about this? Long term people that are that are that followed me for a long or have been watching my live streams know that I got into it with Nerd Writer on a video that he did that's no longer posted. It is a video about Alfred Hitchcock and blocking, and I took offense to it because I thought he was way too puppet mastery. I think he was giving Hitchcock way too much credit for being a puppet master. I don't think Hitchcock is as much a puppet master as people think he is. I think Hitchcock loved the legend being built around him. I don't think he was. I don't think every single movement of every single actor was premeditated. I think it was all done. I think he trusted his actors enough to like, no, hey, you're gonna walk here, and you're gonna do stuff. But yeah. So anyhow, I agree. Do I want to be? The thing about film analysis, though, like actual film reviews, and I use this live stream more for film reviews, is you have to be very current. So like you don't have much time to think about a film review, right? Like and then sometimes like film review and the actual analysis takes multiple viewings, like 3 or 4 viewings at least, to really understand what's going on in the movie. First time you can kind of get a sense of the roadmap of the movie. And the first time you watch a movie, there's always that sense of surprise. You don't know where the plot's going to take you, right? And the second time you watch a movie, you kind of know where the plot's going to take you. You can kind of observe and understand the technique it takes to kind of go in that direction and that stuff. And of course, third time, fourth time, you start solidifying your view of how the destination, the actual journey you're going through. That's the kind of obviously I mean, film review. Other than just be like I watch it, and here's my thoughts on it. That's what I do on the live stream. I've thought about doing like longer form analysis stuff, but it takes a long time, and people, trying to figure out the YouTube algorithm, trying to figure out what does well on YouTube is hard. It really, really is hard. So, so yeah. I like the Critical Drinker. Go away now. Yeah, I do like Tim. I haven't watched his recent stuff, but he put up a couple good, like positive stuff. So yeah, I wish that video essayists had appreciation for conciseness that newspaper critics had. Yeah, the newspaper critics also had like real deadlines and word count that they had to stick to. And now online, it's whatever you get online. And like right now, I'm online and I'm streaming Stream of Consciousness, and we're probably going to be like a 2 hour long stream or whatever the hell we're going for. Stop, go away. Really? This video I've been watching. What are we on now? Hour 2? We're on hour 2 of this thing. So I gotta get going pretty soon because I gotta go to the bathroom. But yeah, the police. Yeah, we're not gonna. No more. I'm not gonna talk about it. Go through your comments here. All right, I'm not gonna read that comment. Let's go back here. There you go. Sleepaway Camp. They don't make horror comedy like that anymore. Lots of erotica. Ooh. The Everything All at Once movie you praised. Oh, I love that movie. I would analyze that thing, but let's see here. Yeah, let's jump ahead. Back to your latest comments here. How's my mom? Nah, she don't. You missed that stream. She passed away in July. So yeah, I've been dealing with. Well, I've been ever since she passed away. I literally been throwing myself into work. Like that's basically what all I've been doing, and it's just been well, as you can tell. Like I've literally been as cramming as much work as I possibly can. I think I was also kind of just thinking I'm going to have like a slow time during November, December, because I just don't have any like major projects coming up. So yeah, so it's just going to be kind of like take it easy. That's what all the brewing's for too, so I can have some brews to drink, which I think are really quite delicious. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Like the fact of the matter is, my mom was in bad shape for a couple of years, and it was more of the thing like when she passed away. It was like, well, I don't have to keep paying for that for her home, her health care, not health care, but her like the place that she was staying at, because that was pricey. That was so pricey. But she did leave me some money, so I thing is, when you get money like that, you don't want to spend it. I just want to like keep it attached as long as I can. So I'm trying to make as much money, and I'm trying right now, which really annoys me. So I got one client that decides they want to that pays through a system which involves a credit card. right? So the credit card, but thing is, I was using QuickBooks to charge the credit card, and QuickBooks was taking out like 3%, and I'm like, 3%, holy moly, there's a Black Hawk helicopter out there. But 3% is like, and for a big check coming down the line was going to be a lot of money. So I'm like, well, I gotta find something cheaper. I gotta find something cheaper. So I found another merchant called Merchant One to run my credit card, and the first payment was a sizable amount of money, and that raised some red flags for that company. So they've been stringing me along now. I charged the credit card, they settled it, so the money's left my client's invoice company payment, and it's gone to their hands. So they have my money. But they're like, is this fraud? Is this fraud? Because we might get charged back. It's not fraud. It's not fraud. They're making me run through a bunch of hoops to try to demonstrate that I'm not doing something illegal. So hopefully, I get my money here in the next couple of days because I kind of need. I've been spending a lot of money recently, including coming to Vegas. Well, that's on credit card, so I don't pay for another month. Any interest in Asian cinema? To be honest, not a whole lot. Um, I'm I'm more interested in American cinema. Um, I'm more interested in Asian American cinema than I am in just strictly Asian cinema. I would rather see. I'm more like I said. I like everything everywhere all at once. I like that one movie with it's not called No Joy Fuck Club, but it's something else. Hey America, what's the deal with annoying guys on phone calls with journalists and baiting cops and security types into asking them who they are just to refuse it? I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, they sound like annoying guys. I wouldn't even. I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily American, but it's annoying. I agree. Just stop paying attention to them. Have you seen the Raid 1 and 2? No, I have not. I should check out Brazilian cinema. Yeah, there you go. Brazil. Yeah, Rick, thank you for your comments. Yeah, folks that didn't know, I did do a live stream on it. I think I talked about, I want to say it was the Barbie movie. Because my mom passed away on my birthday. The day, or the, technically, technically the day after my birthday, but because they have to call a coroner and the coroner has to like come, and by that time it was like the day after my birthday. So it's that what was it? I feel really for that bot. My chat, I have a bot now. Oh my god, where's the bot? Raid 1 and 2 and not really Asian cinema. Okay, lots of big booties in Brazilian movies. Okay, I don't know where's the bot. Ah. Oh, I asked because one of my favorite things to do lately is to block subpar Facebook skit creators. It's a good idea. It's the golden age for Japanese animation now. That's cool. Now I feel like we're getting all like getting all the different. It's getting like broken as far as like the stream, not the stream, the stream of consciousness is broken now. Oh man. Here, let's do this. I need to go to the bathroom real quick. So I'll come back. I'll be right back, and we'll just show you a photo of this thing. Be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, here we go. The raid takes place in Malaysia. What do you think Malaysia is? Europe? There you go. Hentai used to be better. Well, there you go. I know in my town there is one car. There's two cars that are covered with waifu stickers, like covered with waifu stickers, like anime girls with big breasts, usually hunched over, leaning over something, exposing their cleavage, and the car is just like literally covered in these stickers. And I think to myself, as unfuckable as I am, this guy beats me in every way. That was a pretty quick diarrhea, Mr. Hess. That was not diarrhea. That was not coming out of that end. I had to go to the bathroom because I've been drinking Asian persuasion and Coke or Pepsi, and it runs through me pretty quickly. Watching You're Under Arrest. You know, I have yet to finish One Piece. I wanted to watch the One Piece. So I thought the show didn't look too bad. I kind of enjoyed it. I just didn't want to necessarily get suckered into or not suckered into. I don't want to get sucked into another TV show. I have my bucket of ice too. Put some ice in the drink. All right. So anyhow, what else is going on? Hang out for a little bit instead of actually working because I'm not gonna. You know what? I brought my laptop thinking I was gonna do some work. I don't think I'm gonna do any work because I'm tired. I have to get a month of Netflix to watch One Piece. Yeah. I'm thinking about so I have Netflix not because I watch it because I feel like I might want to watch it. Like I'm paying for Netflix and I don't watch it honestly. I watch mostly HBO Max if I had time. But anyhow, don't bother with the 1,000 episodes anime unless it's Detective Conan. It is so underrated that he had an airport and a theme park named after it. There you go. Do you have any scripts that you have written for when the right opportunity appears? Not really. I only I every time I write something, I want to make it. Like I can't. I've written, so I did do this, and I haven't put it up yet because I got slammed with all this other work. We did these table reads where basically we had actors come and we read 3 scripts. Actually, ended up reading 6 scripts. But I need to put it online so we can actually. Every time I write one of these little scripts, I want to make that script. Then I'll write another script, and I want to make that script. Like I always want to make something when I write something. So I never write something just to have something written. I just want to write it for something to make it. Am I watching the new Bosch Legacy season? No, I haven't seen the new Bosch yet. I was thinking about Bosch the other day because I saw an AI. I saw an AI thing. Excuse me. I saw an AI thing where they took SpongeBob and they made SpongeBob Hieronymus Bosch style. They took all the Hieronymus Bosch has that kind of like the view of hell where it's all these demons and devils but he made them all like SpongeBob. It's hilarious. I should pull it up just for that. All right, let's see if I can find it. SpongeBob, Hieronymus or something like that. Bosch. Let's see. There it is. Let's get that one up here. It's absolutely terrifying. It's just savagery, craziness. All right, I'm getting low energy here. Low energy, John. Tired. But let me show you this. Maybe we'll leave out on this thing here. we'll close up on the most terrifying, awful thing you've ever seen in your life. Great way to go. Maybe I won't necessarily end on it, but we'll show you this picture because it is. I'm overselling it. I'm knowing. This is a kind of a series of photos. Here it is. It's the Hieronymus Bosch kind of style of SpongeBob. Just thanks, I hate it. Thanks. Thanks, Internet, I hate it. Yep. You're watching Pluto lately. I've gone from never seeing any episodes of Frasier to seeing every episode of Frasier 3 times. I've never watched Frasier. That's another thing you should probably watch. I miss having a TV show that you could like look forward to watching at the end of the day. I don't have that right now in my life. I don't have anything in my life. I literally went from, so, I mean, not to belabor a point, but you guys brought it up. So, my mom passed away. I was in the middle of Little Mermaid. And I finished up Little Mermaid production. Then I went into the production of 42nd Street. So I did 42nd Street for another 4 weeks after that. And then that's when my workload went extreme because I was doing Lake Elsinore, and then I got tapped to do Catch Me If You Can. So I was doing that and the 3 big old city projects, and that's basically my life for the last 3-4 months. So yeah, Japan and Korea had the timing to be both ancient and traditional societies changing more globalized industrial capitalists. That's made their stories the most relatable to me right now. There you go. I think that's why they became so popular globally. It's been more relatable to conservative societies and Western ones. Perhaps, yeah. The thing is, though, so I got friends that are like super into like Korean movies. I think the Koreans probably do have a slight edge, at least right now, as far as what's kind of mainstream popular is the Korean cinema. The thing is, though, I'm from Taiwan originally, so I've got that Chinese streak in me, and I always thought that the Korean was a little bit of what do they call that term? It was not Sino's fascination. It's sort of like people are into Korean movies because it's just different, right? Like to me, it doesn't have that. I don't have that Asian fascination because it's not very different for me to see it. At least I grew up, around Asian societies. Although I would say, Korean films are not popular in Taiwan. Chinese films were. Hong Kong, films. Obviously, Hong Kong had its day too with like Bruce Lee films and stuff like that. But anyhow, I'm rambling. Totally not making any sense. Any last minute comments before I literally probably I might take a nap. Let's see what I'm going to do. What are your thoughts on seeing Star Wars Episode 9, The Elephant People Dance Planet? Was that Episode 9? I hated Episode 9 so much. I will defend Last Jedi, although being where we are now, I'm very less quick to defend Last Jedi. But I feel like Last Jedi was the last Star Wars movies that took any risks. I know a lot of people hated that movie, but to me it felt like they were trying to push the story outside of its limits. Whereas Episode 9 came to like, no, we're bringing it back down to the small, tiny world that we started here. How come there were no streams for the last 3 weekends? Because I was busy. No, I had my streaming computer was actually packed up for most of the last 3 weeks. It's actually still in the box right now. So my streaming computer in the office was in there, and I was literally working on this. I was working on Sunday. Like I was working. I would literally so I had a show, and then I would work. And on Saturdays I would work and then go to the show. So my Sunday shows were matinees, and I worked after the show. And then Saturdays I was working all that time. Even Disney Plus Star Wars content got horrible. Feel no love for. I feel no love for anything except for, you know, everything everywhere all at once. I was on a Korean TV once. I was on some boring ass panel show talking about the Olympics. There you go. Is the best movie Ernest Scared Stupid? Says I am cheese. And he brings up a philosophical point that we must really address. It's something that the French philosopher, um, I forget his name, the French philosopher brings up about how the medium is the message, right? And what we have to appreciate with the Ernest films, the filmography of Ernest, is that it reflects society not only in a superficial manner, but it reflects society from a ground up approach. That the understanding of the moral, let's say, acceptability of the mores of modern society were really highlighted by films such as Ernest Goes to Prison, which of course deals with the prison industrial complex and all of the ills that it brings society, to things like Ernest Scared Stupid, which puts holds a mirror to society and really attempts to reflect upon the viewer the intricate nature of what intelligence means in the information age. You see, Ernest Scared Stupid is not just a masterpiece in every fundamental level that we would call filmmaking. It is a masterpiece. It is a culmination of what is art, right? I believe it was that one guy that I can't remember his name that said that the stage is the culmination of all the arts, but not only where all the arts come together, but where art comes to life. And Ernest Scared Stupid exemplifies that kind of approach toward art. It is, in essence, what we expect from art. It is true to life, it is true to the world. When you think film, you have to think Ernest, Scared, Stupid. Did you enjoy that? Is that good for you? Was that as good for you as it was for me? Because it was pretty good for me. From what I've seen about Aronofsky's film, it's not a traditional narrative film. It's a tech demo, but it's great. That sounded like a nerd writer essayist. Yeah, that pretty much. No, I think it stole a lot from Ernest, from nerd writer for that rant. I actually saw that quote today. I was driving down Las. I wasn't in Las Vegas. It was another street, and it's the Huntington Playhouse, and it was like a rundown theater. They're going to turn into like an actual theater. And what's the gay guy that the gay poet, his name, played by, it's a movie about him. He's an Irish poet. He was gay, famous for being gay in the early 1900s. He was on trial. What was his name? Chad's got it now. Come on. It's played Stephen. Oh, that one guy from Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry. Oscar Wilde. Thank you, Victor. Oscar Wilde said, "The stage is not only where all the arts come together, but it's where art comes to life," or something like that. And I thought that was a great quote on the side of this dilapidated building in Las Vegas off the main drag. And I was like, wow, that's a great quote from Oscar Wilde. It feels really like super even relevant to today. Any other comments I got to get to? I might just take it, or I might just take a break. Soviet animation. Matthews has joined us. It's important to remember that Soviet animation has an insane diversity and richness, and it's historically as big as industry as Japan and the USA, but the Cold War blocked it from the mainstream. Yeah, well, it obviously wasn't as big as the U.S. because the Cold War basically kept it inside Russia. Because it was the U.S. and Japanese animation, like, it's allowed to flourish and get all over. Yeah, I can't get into the new Star Wars show. Head lady, nice butt, snakes haired lady. I feel like it didn't do anything to build itself or explain itself to new characters. I Ashoka or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, don't get me. I'm not that interested in either. Why the public has such a cult-like behavior to Walt Disney? I don't see him the same reverence given to pioneers like Tex Avery, Hanna-Barbera, or studio owners like Zanuck or Mayer, because none of those guys had a TV show on ABC. That's why. Literally, Walt Disney has his own marketing team. There was no, you know, like like let's spend some time with the Zanuck boys or Louis B. Mayer Story Hour. No, because Walt Disney had an hour TV show on ABC in the 50s and 60s. That's why. Yeah, Oscar Wilde has some fire quotes like that in one they mentioned House of Cards. In House of Cards, cool. Wilde once claimed to tell Customs that he had nothing to declare but his genius. That's cool. All right. On the indie side, cinema is more alive than ever. The problem with cinema dying is how mid-budget drama or comedies decline. Blockbusters consume them. Studios are paying the price. I agree. Too many eggs in a basket. I feel. I was telling my friend this too. Still on there, Thurman? Still here? But basically, there will come a time where we just give up on the blockbusters. I think that time is almost here. Who here is excited to see the Marvels? Raise your hand. Me. I want to see the Marvels. Anybody interested in that movie? Is there any real interest in that movie? Now, to be fair, we are a particular breed here on this channel. We are, especially if you're watching me. The 20 people here still on my live stream. You're probably not interested in the Marvels, but I do keep a gauge on my students in my class. I have them write like viewing reflections every week. Not all of them do it, and their grade will reflect that. But some of them do watch like Ashoka shows like that. I have one person that says they like that show. So there are people that like this stuff, but I think it's going to diminish. So I think it's going to be harder and harder to justify spending the crap load of money it takes to run these things. Put some more ice in my drink. But yeah, I think independent cinema is gonna there's we just got to figure out a way to market a better way to get that market to people, whether that's through YouTube or somehow get the market for this kind of stuff better built out so that it can actually become more financially viable. That's the problem. If you can't make money on it, you're not going to have much of it. So, all right. Well, it is time. I think comments have dried out. We're tired. I'm tired. Everyone's tired. Here we go. I gotta love it when the anti woke conservative U.S. bashing. Read the comment here. Switch it over to this guy. Switch it over to this one. Saying they need to go back to what Disney was. They did not realize that Disney was saved by a gay man who died of AIDS. Yeah, that's true. Well, I think the conservative anti woke folks are not anti gay. Like I feel like I think luckily the movement to try to reduce what's not homopathy. Homeopathy is still alive and well. Just doesn't you don't know if it exists or not. Homophobia, there it is. I think it's pretty well. I feel like it's done a very good job of making people not hate the gay folks. So I think the anti woke crowd would not have a problem with somebody who's gay saving Hollywood. I don't think they care. They just don't want it shoved in their face all the time. They don't want like everything being because that's one thing that's for sure. The Mencken did not shove it in everyone's face. Like those movies were not, obviously, Little Mermaid has kind of gotten a huge gay following, but it's not overtly in your face drag queen story hour. Okay. All right. Walt's name is very much famous for doing due to the company's name, and also he was very active public proposal. Yep. Embrace TV. Yeah, indie cinema needs to be marketed better. For instance, streaming algorithms keep pushing just 10 polls. That's the hard part. So there's let me get into like some theory here real quick. There's something called long tail theory. So there's blockbuster strategy, there's long tail strategy. Long tail strategy basically means like it's like an Amazon approach where basically we will hold all your movies and we will make money on them over a very long time, because even though they're going to get like one or two views a day or something, that over time that'll add up. And blockbuster strategy is we're going to saturate the media market, we're going to generate a ton of buzz and make our money that way. So those are two kind of approaches to it. The problem is with indie cinema is that indie cinema is tiny. It's also going to be niche, very niche. But the thing is, can we make a product that's niche and make money doing so? Like in indie cinema, you could easily see a production being like $70,000, $80,000. I'm just throwing a number, I'm just pulling a number out of my butt. $70,000, $80,000. How are we going to make that money back plus some for our efforts? Um, can we make a couple $100,000 on it? If we could, if there exists a market in which I can extract $200,000 for a movie that cost me $100,000 to make, well, by golly, I'd make that movie, because that's a business strategy. That's actually a viable business opportunity. I can make a decent living doing that. But how do we get that? How do we get to that point? That's the question. And obviously we can't. If we if the algorithms pushed it as hard as we could, we'd be making a lot more than a couple $100,000. We'd be making a lot more. But you know, we have to figure that out. That's the problem. Could you imagine, like, even but $200,000 is not that many viewers, right? $200,000 if each person pays like $10. That's what 20,000 viewers, right? 20,000 people in your audience. That's a sizable audience, but that is nothing compared to like a big Hollywood production, right? 20,000 tickets sold. Oh, you're talking like way more tickets sold than that. So you don't need that many. You see 20,000. The 20,000 takes quite a bit to get there. All right. I think the comments are getting tired of me talking, so we are probably going to. I've been on for 2 hours and 38 minutes. We're going to bring this to a close here. Thanks, guys, for watching, all 22 concurrent viewers. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my live from Vegas stream as I slowly am being buried alive. Victor Rocha says, never be tired of you, John. I appreciate that. I don't feel very appreciated sometimes, but I appreciate that. Appreciate very much. So, happy Halloween. I have no idea what I'm going to do for Halloween. I wonder what's going to happen in Vegas Halloween. I've never been here during Halloween. Curious to see what's going on. Although I don't feel like walking a whole bunch. I'm tired. All right, guys. We will fade out. I'll hit the fade to black button. And I'll make a joke about how I don't really shoot 24 frames a second. I usually shoot like 60 frames a second.